everybody. Welcome back to another December daily day. Today is day 9. I'm working in my 2018 and 2019 album. Let's start with the 2019 album. I saw this idea on Pinterest. I'm sorry I can't remember who did it, but they took like a giant Word die cut or cut file, and I don't know whether they used a die cut or a cut file. And they like kind of adhered it to the page and then cut around it. And that was kind of my inspiration for day 9 in my 2019 album. If you remember, my one little word for 2020 is thankful or grateful. And that's also my reason for the season, or my reason why for my December daily this year. So I cut out the word thankful using my silhouette. I think it was just a file that I got from the Silhouette store. And what my plan is to adhere it to this black and copper foil paper and then cut around the top of it. So you'll kind of see what I'm doing as I'm working on it here. So once I traced it and cut it out, then I'm going to use my Tombow Mono Aqua Glue to glue the cut file back down in place into the slots that I had kind of cut out. And I really like it. It creates a really cool effect on the side of your page, and it just gives it something different than all of the pages being straight lines. I don't know, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I think the white cut file looks great on the black paper too. It was kind of challenging to cut it out, especially since my book is already bound. I think it would have been easier if I was cutting it out of a paper and then putting it into a bound book. Just because you can't really like twist the paper really, you just kind of have to twist your hand. But in the end it worked out. I thought about cutting that extra little piece out of the L on Thankful, but I thought it would have more structural integrity if I left it, so it's fine. You can see what it says, and it creates a really cool effect. It kind of goes with my story and my photos for today, because I'm talking about being thankful and some of the things that I'm thankful for on this day. So I have 2 photos for today. I have a photo of my living room all decorated for Christmas, and a photo of my fireplace. And I decided to back both of those on some colored paper. So I just used some scrap paper. I used a pink one for the photo of my living room and then a red one for the photo of the fireplace. And those will both go on that white piece of paper, or the patterned white paper, next to the word thankful. And then on the page before that, that's where I'm going to add a ton of journaling onto that pocket page. So one of the fun things about a junk journal is the pages are already kind of designed for you, but it also challenges you to think about like how you want to use your photos and your journaling. So on this day, or where I am in the book, there's this Felicity Jane vellum pocket that I had put down, and I really wanted to use a 4x6 photo, but it wasn't going to fit in the pocket unless I put it like upside down, basically. So I decided to use the pocket for journaling and then to put the photos on the next page. So it kind of like is thinking out of the box a little bit about where things can fit. So while I'm just trimming that away, let me tell you about my journaling, and I will just read it to you. So this is December 9th, 2019 again. So I ended up using a Project Life card that said sigh on both sides, and around it I write, "Lately it has been so very cold here in Kenya with all the rain we've been having. It's raining nonstop. I've tried a bunch of times to make a fire in my fireplace, but every single time it's completely failed right away." Apparently, this is the time of year when it's usually warm. People keep telling me that they are usually wearing t-shirts and enjoying the warmth. Sadly, the only warmth I'm enjoying right now is in sweaters, fuzzy socks, and fires. Mary has been making me for one. I'm making me them for me. So Mary's a lady who comes and helps me in my house on Tuesday and Thursday. So when she's here, she makes the fire. I'm so cold all the time. And then there's another Project Life card, the black one there that you'll see in a second, and it says on it, "And now let's begin again." And on that card I just wrote, "So I decided that today is the day I finally make a fire. I'm not going to lie, I may have looked up a YouTube video or two to figure out how to do it. I put down some kindling, paper as a fire starter, and big logs. I did it. I made a fire and it lasted for hours. Hours. This is the first time. All the other times I tried it, it only lasted for like 2 minutes. It's funny, but I am so proud of me." And then on the page with the photos, I'll add some more journaling. So I just wrote, "I'm so thankful for all of this. Thankful for the ability to sit here next to a cozy fire in my house. Thankful that I was able to make the fire. I know I'm a city girl, and I love that about myself. It's part of who I am. But I also really love trying new things and actually accomplishing them. It's just another thing for me to see that I can accomplish hard things. There have been a lot of hard things lately, a lot of things so very far outside of my comfort zone. Maybe if I can do this one little hard thing, I can do the next hard thing. Maybe I can do this. I'm thankful for this." So maybe that might sound weird to you, those of you who've been building fires since you were like, I don't know, 2 years old or something like that. But for me, I've never built a fire before. I'm a city girl. We didn't have a fireplace. I mean, we had a fireplace, but it was electric. And so, yeah, I really wanted to build a fire. So I was really proud of myself when I accomplished it. So I finished this page off with some stamping. So I stamped the date, December 9th. It didn't stamp very perfectly, so I used a red phrase sticker that just says "Find joy in the ordinary" over top of it, and I kind of like that. I've been doing it a bunch this time, or in these albums. I also have decided that on the front of this little pocket here, there needs something. And because I'm talking about being cold and the need for a fire, I decided to go with this snow and cocoa or crepe paper snowman. And I think he's so cute. I love the way that he looks on the front of there. And then I just used one more phrase sticker on the fire that just says "worth it." And that's basically it for day 9 in my album. It's got that fun pocket and the 2 photos, lots of journaling, which is really fun, and journaling about maybe a silly story, but I feel like it's something that I'm going to want to look back and remember, like the fire that I made that worked so well. I don't know, I was proud of myself. And I've made many fires since then, but I just feel like it's like accomplishing something, if that makes sense. And it goes with the word "thankful" that I've put across the page there too, because I'm talking about being thankful for this and thankful for learning new things and going outside of my comfort zone and just thankful. So after that, I'm going to start working on my 2018 album here. And on the 9th of 2018, it was a Sunday, so I have some photos of me at church. And I also was helping my mom work on her thesis. I do her editing for her, so I just have some photos from that. So that's what I'm going to include in my album. Well, I'm just trimming up the photos and deciding where I'm going to put them. Why don't I read my journaling, and then that way I can spend the rest of the time talking to you about what I'm doing. So I love Sunday mornings. I get my apple cider from Red Bulb, and then I head to Into One, which is the name of my church, where I adore singing Christmas carols. It's the perfect way to start my day. So I have a photo, sorry, of me in church and a photo of me holding my Red Bulb, which is a coffee shop, mug. And on the photo of church, I add this like turquoise snowflake just above it. I just thought it would look cute. And then I'm going to add a pink snowflake on the page with my coffee cup. And then on the next page is where I'm going to talk about helping my mom. After church, I love going to the bakehouse to wait for my mom and dad to pick me up. Today they had a gingerbread man. Not only were they adorable, they were also yummy. I love gingerbread men. It was especially perfect because I spent the whole afternoon helping, or the whole afternoon and evening helping my mom with her footnotes in her paper. This was hard and it was stressful, very stressful. Mom was stressed and so was I. Her entire footnotes and biography, no, bibliography, were all messed up. I ended up having to redo them all. Instead of being annoyed, I'm trying to remember to be thankful. Thankful for the opportunity to help my mom and thankful for the amazing work she is doing for victims. So, my mom is like one of the most amazing people. She is working on her doctorate right now, and her thesis is on what do adult victims of child sexual abuse want and need from their communities of faith to nurture their spiritual healing. So she may not always necessarily like do the best job at like her bibliography and her footnotes, but that's where I'm here to help. As an English major, I can totally help with that. And even though it was really stressful having to like redo them all, and she wanted to submit it the next day, and spending like hours and hours going through and combing through and fixing all of these things, I'm so glad I could do it because I think the work that she's doing and the research that she's doing is so valuable and important and can make a difference that it's like I'm honored to get to help her with it. Does that make sense? So I also added a snowflake onto the envelope with a couple more photos. It's kind of the theme for today, I guess. And I'm going to use my roller date stamp to stamp the date. I added the number 9 puffy sticker to the middle of that like teal turquoise snowflake. I just thought it would look really cute there. So I decided to draw some journaling lines right there on that pink polka dot page so that I could just add my journaling right there on the page. And I like the way that it looks. It's like another fun part of like creating a junk journal is like each page looks so unique where you do your journaling and how you do your journaling, and you can use cards or like journaling spots, or you can like journal like right on the page. I don't know. I love it. So I think that's pretty much it for what I do on this page, or this spread, I guess, of my church thing. And then that's where I'm sharing about the gingerbread man and doing the editing for my mom. There was like a library card in there, so I just did some journaling on there. And I actually felt like the library card was like perfect because I was talking about like school stuff, and then I'm like writing it on a library card. I don't know. It just felt apropos. I love that word too, by the way. And then what I had done on the envelope was I had taken the 2 photos and that like light mint snowflake, and it had adhered them to the flap of the envelope. And then because I'm going to have lots of journaling and I wanted to talk about like how stressful it was to do the editing, I'm going to end up putting a journaling card inside that envelope. So it's like the journaling is there, but if you were just flipping through, you might not necessarily see it, and I'm okay with that. So I kind of just went through my journaling cards and grabbed this one that said like we can choose to be grateful or something like that. And I think that that's like so true. Like in almost every situation, you can like there's always something that you can complain about, but there's also always something that you could possibly be thankful for. Like I was really stressed. Like I remember my mom and I were like really frustrated. And she was disappointed that she hadn't done it right because she thought she had or whatever. And I was frustrated that she wasn't listening to me and all of that. But like in the same moment that I'm feeling frustrated and annoyed and I can complain, I can also be like so thankful that I like get to work with her on this, and so thankful for the project that she's doing and the impact that it's going to make in the future. So like, yeah, you can always choose to be thankful or grateful. So I added the journaling on that card, and then that will just slip right into that pocket, and then that will be it for the journaling for those pages. I do go and look through my embellishments just to see if there's anything else I want to add, and I decided to add some enamel dots. So I'll just add that sporadically throughout those 2 spreads. And that will be it for day 9 in my 2018 album. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. Have a lovely day.
Everything glistening white. Jack Frost has finally come out to say hi with his snow on Christmas morning.